Hello, welcome back to On My Mind, the podcast featuring yours truly, Michael and Miguel. Today we have, wow, I totally butchered that already. Today we have a special guest all the way from where I call home in Santa Ana, California. He has been on the show before, both as a guest and a host, featured in episodes 5, 16, 38, and 42 of the archives, and in episode 28 of volume 2. He's currently studying business at Santa Ana College, and he is a fellow content creator and does photography on the side. Please welcome Josue Lechuga, or Lechuga. I'm just going to refer to you as that, if you don't mind.
Yes. Hi, it is I. Great to be back. As always, I'm about to boost those numbers up because I'm here. You already know how it is. But yeah, hi. It's great to be back.
As you can probably tell from the audio quality, he's not here in Brunswick, Maine. I mean, dude, to be in Brunswick, Maine right now is kind of crazy. Yeah. No, I mean, just to give you some context, Lechuga, it's according to the weather app right now, it's negative 13 degrees out here in Maine, and like it's very windy.
Yeah.
So it actually feels like negative 38, and it's only going to get colder.
It's 66 degrees here. I got the doors open, like it's so, like there's sunshine. Like I'm chilling right now.
Paradise right now,
dude. For real, I'm so jealous. Yeah. Anyway, so we did our research. We
did our research. Yeah.
Earlier today, we were looking at a bunch of the vlogs that you have on your YouTube channel, because Miguel, this is the first time you guys meet.
Yeah.
And so just so you know, like he's also into or I guess you could kind of speak to about the film photography and stuff.
So I also do photography. I started when actually don't remember, a couple of years ago, but yeah, I started doing photography, digital photography. And then after that, when I got here, I started doing film. And then right now I'm taking a class on film photography, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I know a thing or two. I know how it feels like to be frustrated with cars getting in your way.
Yeah. So anyway, so we prepared a couple of questions, mostly inspired by those vlogs, and then just some ones in general. So I guess you know what? We'll just jump straight into it. I just remember one day being on Instagram, and then you know how sometimes they'll recommend you like profiles to follow and stuff like that. Like I just saw your photography one. Like it was totally unannounced, and like when I clicked on it at first, I can say I was one of the first few followers. There was like no one that I knew was following the account, and I'm like, oh, like you just like this is Lechuga. Because like it had a link to like your Maine, and I was like, oh, okay, no, this is interesting. And you had like maybe 3 or 4 at the time, and now it's kind of been something you've been doing for like half a year or so, a little bit more. So I don't know, like I guess just what like inspired you to kind of start that photography project?
Well, I've been like wanting to be like a photographer. I guess I still don't consider myself a photographer, but like I don't know, it's just like an iffy ground, if that makes sense to Miguel, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like even though I've been doing it for like half a year with like an official camera, I've been like taking pictures with my like Android that I had before, that like back in 2018. So I've been like taking pictures always. And then by like my birthday of last year, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I got money. So I was like, I'm going to buy myself a camera. And then that's where it started. Yeah. I started taking like pictures with this shitty Walmart camera that I got for like $200.
Okay.
But yeah, that's where it started. Yeah. And then eventually I got like a more expensive camera. It's called like a beginner camera. And yeah, that's where I started my my channel, or not my channel, my Instagram like page. And I started posting. At first I was like low key about it because I'm still not confident about my pictures. I didn't want anyone to see it, but I also wanted to like keep my like pictures somewhere. And then I was like, Michael found it. And I was like, And then like I think after like a week or two, I like announced it to like my main page to like my friends, and like I told them like, go follow this shitty like photographer, and people were like, why are you calling them shitty? So I was like, it's me, you guys. Bro. Like I'm shitting on myself.
Yeah,
but
too hard.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I've been like 6 months. I started in July, I think. But yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, Miguel was more interested in this, but like, what like specific camera do you use now to like take photos?
Yeah.
Well, I want to shout out to my like first camera I got. It was like a Kodak Pix Pro AC252. For those nerds out there who want to like Google it. I'm a nerd too, so I'm not trying to like say anyone, but like just saying.
Shout out to nerds.
But like I'm saying it because I would have wanted to know. But yeah, that's the first camera I started. It's a $200 camera. It's not a bad camera. It's a point and shoot, I believe it's called. But now I got it's a Canon.
The Canon.
I got it right here. I came prepared. Yeah, it's the M50 Mark II. It's a small little camera. It's EFM mount, so it's like small lenses and stuff. Like I saw a bunch of YouTube videos. I was trying to like figure out what to buy. Cause, like the first time I bought it, I was like, oh, that looks good enough as a camera. And then like after I spent like a bit of a time with that camera, I was like, yeah, this is like again, I feel like shit on the camera, but it was shit. It was garbage. It was like basically I might as well take pictures with my iPhone. Yeah. So I like researched this camera. It's like everyone called it like the best like beginner camera. Like it like helps you like with the settings and everything. But yeah, that's the camera I use right now.
Yeah. No, I'm using I have my own. It's a Canon Rebel T3i, and I've had it for basically when I first started. And I've been wanting to get a new one, just because one, that one is old, and two, just want to upgrade my stuff because my stuff is pretty outdated. So yeah, that's what I'm the one I'm doing with film photography. The one that I'm actually borrowing it from the college. That one is if I remember, I have it with me actually. It's a Canon EOS Elan, which uses, I think it's 35 millimeter film. I don't know, but yeah, that's the one I'm using for my film photography class. Yeah.
I also started like film photography. I found this camera at this like antique store, and it's the Canon EOS 2000 Rebel, I think, and it also does like 35 millimeter. And like I got it for like, I'm not sure if I got scammed or not, but I got it for like $100. But it came with like a lens, which was $60 on Amazon. So I guess the camera was like $30. I guess I bought a camera for $30.
Yeah.
I'm like, it works. I am using. Actually, I don't know if it works. I still need to develop the film to see like if it's even like capturing the picture, or if I'm just like taking pictures of like nothing. Yeah. But I mainly bought the camera for like the lens because I know lenses are like expensive. So it's like I'm like buying them like old or like used or whatever. So, like,
so you already
and
shot.
I also bought like an adapter. Yeah, what's that?
So you already shot. Sorry. So you already shot like a roll of film with that camera.
I'm currently shooting a roll of film with it. Yeah. Like right now, I still like got like 10 shots with it. I'm like very like slow with it because I know it's only like you only have so many. It's like this one where you could just like push the shutter and like it takes like a million. Yeah, so I'm taking my time with it to like take pictures of like what I actually want to see because it also like takes money to like get them printed out or like have them like in a digital version. So I'm very like seeing like what I want to take a picture of.
That makes sense.
But yeah.
And that vlog that we watched, the one you made like 2 weeks ago where you ran into that horrible person who just like totally outed you, bro.
Like yes, but also no, I wouldn't say it's horrible. I mean, like I get the concern. I was like imagine me just standing like this, right? I'm trying to like stand as still as possible. I'm just like this aiming at their house because the apartment was like, to be fair, it was behind like the house. It was not even behind their house. It was like in the middle between like two houses. If you like go back and look at the video, so I'm just like this, like for a good like 30 seconds, trying to like get like a good picture, like focusing, and the picture still came out garbage. It wasn't even worth it. Like, I just put in the picture just to like say I took a picture, but I don't even like the picture. I liked how it looked, but I didn't like how like I composed the picture. Like it was just a picture, I guess. Does that make sense? You like agree with that or like relate to that? But yeah, it's like it wasn't even worth it. And like I just had to like talk to people. And I was like the whole day I was avoiding people. Like if I saw people like walk away in a different direction, and just like to the very end, just to be like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, oh fuck. But yeah.
I think a good way to handle that is to act like you're a tourist. And just be like, no,
like
English. Like a tourist. Like you're a tourist. Just be like, no English, no English. Like photo, yes, photo, tourist, I'm tourist.
I think that would work, but the thing is that, Santana, right? It's like very Hispanic, right? So if I try to pull that card, I'm like,
shit,
oh, no, está bien. Yo también hablo español. I'm like,
oh, you should. I don't know. You should just say that you don't speak Spanish.
Yeah. You speak. You're a Russian. I don't know. Just like something totally like out there.
You'll say it on mute. I'm like,
or just mute. Yeah. And then they throw like some shit.
They start
sign language. Yeah.
No winning.
No, yeah, that's funny. I don't know. I've never had that encounter before doing photography. I mean, because I don't really do photography. I don't really go outside that frequently, and like just to shoot photos like you do. Like I'm more of just like I focus. Like I have certain projects that I focus on. I don't really like go like freestyle photography or whatever it's called, where you just go outside. So I never had that encounter before where someone's like, "What are you doing?" Not my backyard.
No, yeah, I didn't like. I didn't continue recording, or else I would have shown like the interaction afterwards. I just like kind of showed her the pictures, and she was like chill about it. She's like, oh, okay, and she was like so like kind of skeptical, but she was like, oh, that's fine. Because I showed her the picture, and it was just like the apartments behind there. I think she still like got weirded out by it, so like why taking pictures of the apartment building, but yeah, she just went inside her house, and she was like, okay. But I stopped recording out of like decency, I guess. I was like, I don't want to record a conversation, but yeah. But still, like,
so
she literally walked out of her whole house like, hey, what are you doing? I was across the street too, and I was like,
yeah, when that first happened, I think there was like a little kid who like zoomed by on a scooter. And I thought that's who was like talking to you, but then I realized, oh, it's a woman's voice.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. But yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't watched that vlog or any of his other ones, I definitely recommend.
Check it out.
I think you tease that you're gonna start posting about like once a month or so.
Yeah, I'm actually working on like the next video right now.
Oh snap!
Ooh.
Can we get like a little preview?
A little preview.
I literally started filming today. Like I got nothing, but if you want to like know what it's about, basically I got these AirPods that I got like last year, and they're not working anymore, which is like pretty garbo. But yeah, I got them for free from my school, so I'm not like too bummed out because I got them for free. But it's still like my AirPods, they don't work anymore, and I'm still kind of mad about it. But I need to pay like $100 for it to like repair the case, because I think it's the case that's fucked up. It's just, again, I can't get too mad about it because I didn't pay the initial $300 in the first place.
Right.
It's still $100 for a $300 product that just stopped working. But yeah, that's gonna be my video. I'm gonna try to like make it like, I don't know, I'm like experimenting. It's not mainly like, for me, it's not about like getting it fixed or whatever. It's like experimenting how I film my videos to like see how like everything works. Because I think that's like the biggest issue I've seen with my like videos. It's just like how do I say it? They're just like clips, and they're just like mashed together, and I still don't like know how to like work that fluidity. Yes, English.
Oh,
but
yeah, big words.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm working on. Filming this video about my AirPods and how they don't work.
Sounds riveting. I cannot wait, bro.
Yeah, this is gonna be amazing.
We binged all the videos because I mean, like, even though they are like kind of just clips meshed together, like you kind of do just follow like it's very I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just like it's just entertaining. Yeah, it's just like fun to watch.
Well, thank you. It means a lot. Yeah. But yeah, this year I promised to myself that I'm gonna post, so at least minimum there's gonna be 12 new videos this year, right?
Right.
I got like I have a whole list. I could like talk about it later, but I have a whole list of video ideas that I want to do. So if I could like knock those out, great. If I can, whatever. But I gotta hit at least that 12 minimum for this year.
You gotta respect it.
It's a good goal. Yeah, I want to have goals like that.
Oh right, because he does like short films on YouTube. I do as well. Short
film projects, and I mean I really don't have any. I don't really set any sort of goals in mind when I do them. I kind of just think about them like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is when I'm gonna do it, and then eventually like I make something. But it's not like, oh, I have to do it by this date. Actually, I kind of did because I did do one short film for final for last semester for one of my classes, which that did have a due date, but my other stuff is just kind of like I do it whenever I can, and then just put it out there whenever I feel like it, basically. But yeah, I need to do that more.
That's what I was doing with like my blog. Like, well, whenever I hang out with friends, I just vlog. So, I mean, like, as you can see, Michael's right next to you and like not around. And he's like one of the people I hang out with, one of my friends, right? Mm. So like they're not around. I don't hang out with a lot of people, which is kind of sad. I know that I'm saying this, but I posted my first vlog, like my first like solo vlog, and I was like, okay, this is all right. It works, right? And then I was like, you know, if I'm just gonna keep on doing my own, I have to like make a schedule for it. Because if I'm just waiting for like opportunities to come, it's like they're never gonna come. There's gonna be like a whole half a year gap again, right? And I'm gonna have nothing. And like I'm trying to do this like YouTube thing, I think it's for fun, or like, you know, whatever. I honestly don't know where I'm taking the direction with this, but I just want to like build at least a base with it, and not just like, oh, here's a video, see you like in a half a year, and like I don't know,
be that type of creator. Honestly, there are a couple of YouTube channels that I watch that have that sort of schedule, and I don't really mind.
Like, yeah, I mean, I could probably like do that.
Yeah,
and like, but the thing is, I'm just starting off, so I don't have like the privilege to be able to like, here's a video, like late.
That's true.
But yeah, so there's a YouTuber called Michael Reeves. He like posts like probably 3 times a year, 2 times. I'm like, but each time he has like a new video, like he gets like hella views. But yeah, I can't really like be able to do that.
Yeah. And like we try to post like once a week on YouTube and all the other platforms and stuff. And it's mostly just like when we're here during the semester. So like there's no like set number of episodes we have to hit a day or like in a year. And it's mostly just like for us, probably the hardest thing is like finding guests and people to talk to. Yeah. Because we both know that, you know, Friday nights we're going to be recording anyway. It's just like a matter if we can get someone to kind of join us. And so like these episodes are like super fun, and it's, I don't know, like I've been doing, like, I guess you could say I've been on YouTube for like 2.5 years, almost 3. I started in 2020 in May. And that's kind of wild that I've been doing this for so long. Welcome to Voice Crack City. My name is Michael and I'm the mayor.
Water.
Yeah, stay hydrated, drink water. Yeah. So I'm, whenever I like I watch like a couple of YouTubers. Most of them are like do Pokemon related content and stuff like that. That's kind of where my eyes are going. And sometimes they kind of dive into like the process of like learning from YouTube analytics and like developing new projects and like creating new like one-off video ideas. And honestly, I watch them for that kind of content more so than I watch for like Pokemon gameplay and things like that, because it's essentially like a podcast with Pokemon playing in the background. So it's a vibe. Like you can kind of just like, you know, put it on like a new tab and then just continue doing whatever you're doing and just listen. That's usually what I do. So I'm very interested in like the kind of process of like, you know, I'm not sure like how much film you like record that ends up getting cut out of the video, how you kind of make those decisions, and also like just like how you edit the video, because I really love your editing style. I think it's like it's so fun and like it's simple, but like it just works so well. So like I'm kind of just like, I don't know if you can kind of get into like the process of like filming and like recording and then editing, because that's very much like what I do. Like here, like there's, you know, like a bunch of setup that I have to do, and then I have to listen back to the episodes and kind of, I don't really cut things out of the episode, but I just kind of like listen back and, you know, make the audio sound a bit more crisp, and just generally like make sure that it's like as good quality as possible. And then I just throw out like an hour and a half of us talking. That's basically every episode. So I mean, your content is much different compared to like what we do. So yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. What I found like by like starting off with, because what I posted first on my channel was like old vlogs I made for Instagram, right? Which is like basically like clips. And what I saw from like those early videos, that the longer videos that I made at first got way more views and like more attention than my like shorter like 5-7 minute videos. Right. And that was something interesting that I saw. So like I started like when I went out to like record like the 2 new videos that I made, like the one where I went to Target or like when I went to do street photography, I tried to like aim to make a video that was like longer. So I started recording more. And that was like the first thing I started. Like, I don't really like pay attention to how much I record. I just like hope that I recorded enough to like make at least like a 60-minute video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically just my recording process. Like, I just record what I was already going to do. I'm just like have a camera in front of me this time. And how I edit is basically, I edit each video or like, every video clip I have. And I mesh it together, and that's basically the video, right? And then I rewatch it like multiple times to see like there's anything janky or like the audio, because I started recording like audio separately as well as the video, right? I got like a little microphone and everything. It's very fancy, I know. But that's what I do, and then I rewatch it, and then I just like basically whatever comes into my mind is what I write. So
right,
if I'm mind watching it, I'm like, oh, like what an idiot! Like how do you not see this, or like whatever. And I just like basically explain either that, or I explain to like whoever's watching, like my 10 viewers, but like if they have any questions, I just like answer. Yeah. But yeah, that's basically how I edit. Right now I edit on my iPhone. I have CapCut on my phone. I tried editing on my laptop, but my poor laptop. Again, I have very bad like at purchasing. Like I got it for like $200-$300, and I was like, you know what? A laptop is a laptop. I don't give a shit where it's made from, like, or what it is. I'm just gonna use it to like do like fucking Word or whatever. And now I'm regretting that decision because that's like $300 down the drain, and like I can't even open an editing software to like edit photos. I can't edit photos because like it just crashes on me.
That was something Miguel was interested in, but you can continue.
But yeah, so I edit everything on my phone on CapCut, and then I just like upload it to YouTube. And that's basically it. Yeah. CapCut. And as you can see, I'm pretty like chaotic thinking, like whatever like goes, I say it without thinking or whatever. So that's basically how I like come up with like the content for like videos, and like I come up with things as I go. Thing I found like interesting was like in the beginning of the other videos, like, oh, I hope like nothing like it's good if this video is boring because I don't want something interesting to happen. I was thinking like the night before I started doing, because I think about like what am I gonna do for the video like the day before. So I was thinking like, what if I like get jumped or something? Like, I get like stabbed or something, whatever, right? And then as I was walking, I saw the cops there, and I was like, is this a good idea? Should I be going out here on my own with nobody? And I have like a camera walking like this with my iPhone on top. And like,
that was such a funny clip.
Like I'm just asking for trouble.
No, so
and
funny.
Then I'm like, oh, you know what? It's fine if this video is boring because that means nothing interesting happened. And then by the end of it, I get called out by that lady. I was like called it. I was like, but it makes for a good video. I can like better at it.
I really like that clip, the one where you're walking and then like you see the cop cars just on the side. There's like a moment of silence, and then I just hear your camera go, and you just keep walking. Like I would have done that probably, but nah, yeah. But also I had a question. So your photos, so you do edit them and then you upload them, right? You just don't do like a raw export.
When I first started, I was doing pure JPEG on my camera before I understood what RAW was. So like my early stuff was just pure JPEG, like whatever the camera decided like the setting should be. Or it's different, you know, because like you could do like pictures on manual, and then like it decides how to process that image, right? Yeah. So that processing was all like done by my camera, and that's why I uploaded. Eventually, like I started to like understand what RAW was and like how it gives like more ability to edit. And then like Canon has like a app, right, for it, for like that, where you could like connect to the camera to the Wi-Fi and could like download pictures that way. It also has like an editing software where I like kind of tweak with it. It's very limited what I could do with it, but I could kind of edit my photos that way. And that's how I edit my photos. Like the newer ones, that's how I edit them. Yeah.
That's interesting because I also export my images as raw files, but I use Lightroom to edit Adobe because I'm fortunate enough to be able to have the Adobe suite and have
provided
Lightroom
by the school.
Provided by the school. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we use Audition for Audition.
I tried I got DaVinci on my DaVinci Resolve, I think it's called, on my laptop. And like each time I open it up and try to like get an image in it, just freezes like dead. And I'm like, right now I'm trying to get like a MacBook. So like if anyone wants to like send me on the MacBook, I don't care what like if it's cheap or whatever. But so I could just like edit pictures.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Honestly,
I also want to get a Mac. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I also want to get a Mac, not to like for photos, but like also like to like edit my videos better. Because again, I'm very limited on what I could do on like CapCut. Like the reason I have those like captions or whatever is like it's one of the only things I can do to like customize my video to like make it mine. Like
right.
So that's like the only thing I got, which I guess is a good thing because it's adding like a personality to like my videos. But that's because like I'm limited on what I could do.
Yeah, I mean exactly. Like I kind of have like the opposite thing where like I have so much freedom and liberty with the Adobe Premiere Pro, and like I just have the logo and then the audio behind it. That's what I call it. And like every now and then like we'll bring up something and I'm like put that up on the screen, and then that's pretty much like the extent of how much I like really edit. In terms of like the video, the audio is like its own thing. And like you, I used to, oh man, back in the day, when I would record audio, like everyone's audio on one file, that was fun. And it's like back in the day I was really like worried about cursing, and now like we don't give a fuck. So it's like
about cursing, but sorry, but yeah, like if you saw my first video, I bleeped out all like the for like 2 minutes.
Bro, I heard it was so fucking loud. The censors.
Because like I heard that like the first 2 minutes, like if you're cursing, like it like really does things to like your videos. I didn't see no difference in my other videos, so I was like, fuck it, whatever. I'm not gonna do that for my new video. Not until like I get bigger, where like it actually matters. But yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
The YouTube algorithm is just like something so interesting because it's constantly changing. I feel like every couple months it's kind of like, oh, this is what's important, and then next thing you know it's like, oh, that doesn't matter anymore, it's this. And it's just like so interesting. Like people like will typically be like like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Like that used to be what was really important back then. And nowadays it's ever since they introduced YouTube Shorts, it's all been about watch time. Like that has been the number one like factor or thing that everyone should aim for as content creators. And so like when I do long form content where it's just like you turn it on and you kind of zone out and just listen, or like you work on something in the background, like whatever you do when you're listening to the podcast. I mean, some people like listen to it while going on a walk or like on their way to work or something like that. Or I don't know. Podcasts are pretty cool like that, where you can kind of like just turn them on and listen to them whenever. But with like the way social media is evolving, and we were kind of talking about this last episode, is they're just like becoming shorter content and just like more random and like sensory overload. In like a compact, like in a compact 7 second video.
The clip in the bottom versus like the clip on the top.
Yes,
and, like,
this guy knows. He knows about that phenomenon. Oh my god.
It's great. I think that's like one of the reasons I deleted TikTok recently. I was taking too much time, but like I realized that I was watching just garbage, nothing. Like I didn't even like know I was watching. Like I remember like what you guys were saying about like last episode. I think you guys talked about Bluey, right?
We did talk about Bluey.
Probably,
we brought it up.
And like that was like one of like the shows, and I was just like binge watching all the shows. I'm like, what am I doing? Like I just watched like a whole children's show episode. I'm like, and like after a while, I was like, this gotta stop. Like, and I just like got rid of the app, and I was like, don't think about it, just get out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm on Reels, so like I don't even know how like that works.
It's the same thing, bro.
It's the same thing. Yeah, no. But yeah, it's I don't know.
Yeah, speaking of those like TikTok, you kind of mentioned TikTok photographers. Those people who like go up to random people in the street and are just like, "Can I take a photo of you? You look really beautiful."
Yeah,
you look beautiful. Can I take a photo of you? What's your name?
They have like a whole photo shoot.
I just could never. One, because like my like confidence as a photographer is just like not there, so I couldn't even like. I would just think that the photo is bad, and I wouldn't even want to show them. But also just like talking with people in general, I'm like, I can't. I recently went out and like did like I was like walking around and like taking pictures. I went to like downtown Santana.
Yeah.
I just like walked around and took pictures, and there's just like people watching. I was like, I'm like, I'm just trying to take a picture and I'll like just hide it again. But yeah, I don't know how they do it. It's like they just walk up to people, or like when they, not even that, like at least they're asking, right? If they could take a picture of them. There's like people like I see on YouTube where just like they take a picture of a person just walking by. I'm like, is that okay? Is that legal? Like, can you do that? Like,
cool. Yeah,
you gotta have to sign like a consent form or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very weird thing because like saying like, oh, they're in public space, so it's, technically it's legal. I'm like, oh, okay, it doesn't make any less weird, but I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I kind of find it weird too. It's just, I don't know. It just seems so uncomfortable going up to someone and asking to take a picture of them. Like I would never do that to any stranger. I feel like I would probably like get flipped off, or at the very like most like get robbed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, for reference, he's from Houston, Texas.
From Houston, Texas. So, yeah, very, very interesting city in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of related to that. I've gotten like Instagram message requests. I'll just read it. So it says, "Hello, Michael. I really like your profile and your posts. If you let me, I would make such an amazing mural of it. If you don't mind, one of your posts could be my inspiring muse for an art project I'm working on for a client. You will definitely get paid for it and also get a bonus and credits as well. Let me know if you're interested." And I've gotten a couple of these recently.
It's just a scam.
And I'm like, bro, this just yells like fake.
Yeah, it's a scam. I don't trust that. No.
I think I almost fell for one. I didn't like fall for it right away, but like when I posted one of the pictures where like I put like hashtags, because like hashtags is like a big thing apparently on Instagram to like get more people.
Yeah.
I've seen that like my numbers go up when like I put hashtags, and then I saw like people reach out like, oh, like you're very good, like, oh, use this camera, like just like let us know if you want to get shout out on their page. I'm like, oh shit, dope, like sure. And like, okay, here's our payment plans. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, I gotta pay? Like, what the fuck are you asking me? But I wanted to get like a shout out and pay for it. I was like, ask for it. I want this. You were like offering it, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's
hard. I don't know. I mean, yeah, we just don't really find that kind of appealing. The thing is, I feel like it would be legit if they like, I don't know.
Like, here's my other work.
Yeah, here's my other work. This is what I do. This is like if you're able to look them up on LinkedIn and like actually like find information about them,
bro.
Yeah, then you could probably be like, oh, this is actually legit. But if there's just like some random person, who's just,
like I would totally be nowhere, bro.
Out of nowhere, it's just like, why? Like, no, I'm like, leave me alone.
Yeah. I guess kind of moving on. Like, it seems like you're investing into this. You're like buying cameras and like attachments and stuff. Like, is this something you're thinking about pursuing? Like, I know you're like currently studying business, and like I'm not really sure where you see yourself in like 10 years, for example.
Well, I'm doing business. I've always been good with numbers. Like, that's why I'm doing business. It's like a place where you can like just go, or like more specifically, I might become an accountant or something like that in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
Like do taxes or like whatever. Yeah, honestly, I don't even know what an accountant does, but I'm going for it. I just know that they make money, so yeah. I'm going for it. But yeah, recently I've been seeing like I said, I've always like taking pictures, like photography and whatnot, recording videos. I got like, I think the oldest vlog I got from freshman year, which is how many years ago? I don't know. You guys could do the math. I graduated 2021. I could just do the math myself. 2017? Right.
I'd say so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go with 2017. That's like the oldest like record I got, like, of me like doing, just taking someone's phone. It wasn't even my phone. I took on like my friend's phone and I started recording. But yeah, I recently like for this semester, coming up semester 4 at SAC, I'm in a photography class just to see if, because I think I kind of got the basics down after like 6 months of using my camera, but I think it's more like to see like more of like of an expert, I guess, like the teacher, to see like what she thinks of my picture, like how to take a picture, right? Because like it's one thing to like learn how to use the tool, and it's like another thing to like use it properly, I guess, Yeah. You gotta like be able to see what you want to like capture and like make it. I think I heard like a YouTuber said that they want to take a picture that doesn't look like a picture, if that makes sense. And I'm like, yes, but yeah. or also like how they take pictures to like tell a story. I'm like, how can the pictures tell a story? Like it makes no sense. So yeah, I'm taking a photography class to like build upon that. And I don't know, maybe I might like, if I do business, I could open like, I could like know like the logistics of like being able to like own a business and make my own like photography business or whatever. I could like, I'm just keeping my options open because like, I don't want to like get stuck being an accountant. At least this is like for a hobby or whatnot, but yeah.
You can just imagine him like people hiring him to like do weddings and quinceañeras and stuff like that.
Weddings,
yeah. I actually did a quinceañera for my.
Oh my god!
For my
there you go. Yeah.
Well, you've been a photographer for a while, right? I got paid $100 for it. So.
Well, the thing is,
I wasn't charging anything, so.
Yeah, but. I mean, yeah, I don't charge anything either. But I've never really. No, I'm kidding. Nah, bro. But yeah, I don't know. My photography. I mean, I don't really have, like I don't really have like set clients for photography. Like really, for me, it's just people. Like I let people know that I'm a photographer, and if they need me, they'll just reach out to me. And but that's basically how I operate. But yeah, I don't know. Just thinking about. I mean, I'm not really looking at photography as sort of like a way, it's sort of like a profession, because right now I'm mostly doing film. Like right now, like I already have a couple film projects done, and I'm also planning to go abroad to the Czech Republic for a semester to do film production over there. So like right now, my mind and my sort of track is just focused on film and film production and whatnot and what to do with that. But yeah, like in terms of photography, it would be nice to just continue it as a hobby. I think that having it as a hobby is very useful, and you can learn a lot from it. But I personally, I mean, in the future, it could change. I might, maybe just say like, oh, maybe film isn't for me and photography is more for me. But right now it's just sort of, okay, I like photography. I like doing it, but it's not necessarily something that I would do as a job. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, I hope I keep on doing it for fun. If anything, like if I do become an accountant, whatever, it'll at least like be able to fund to keep me from like being able to like. Also, that's one of the like things I want to do in life, just like traveling other places and like taking pictures. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure like that kind of conflicts with like the fear if I have to deal with people and like getting jumped and whatever, and like traveling and meeting new places and whatnot. So I don't know, maybe I'll grow out of that. I'll probably get some gangs. I got nothing like with these twig arms, but if I could like look like I could beat someone up and like be walking around with the camera, maybe I'll be like more confident with it. But yeah, if I could like at least travel and like take pictures of like whatever, that'd be great. That's my life right there.
Yeah.
You keep bringing up getting jumped. Like, have you gotten jumped
before?
I have not, and I hope I'm not. It's like one of like, it's gotta be a statistic, right? Like the longer you haven't been jumped, the like more likely you're gonna get jumped, right? Like I don't know.
I mean, that's actually an interesting thing. I don't know if like on average, how many people not on average, how many times does the average person get jumped in their lifetime? In the United States, to be more specific, or mugged, or robbed, or
pictures
whatever.
Of people like getting jumped on top.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't really. These things aren't. This is a blog. This is survivalskills.com, bro. I mean, like, what the hell?
What are the odds of getting robbed in America?
So in 2021, the national robbery rate in the United States was 60 cases per 100,000 in the population.
Well, that's robbery. I'm talking about like getting mugged on the street.
Where do people get mugged? Busy shopping malls, train stations. So if you ever start taking photos like in really busy and public places where like maybe your attention isn't so much on like I don't know, because like malls, I just feel like are super like stimulating, kind of like the videos on Instagram and TikTok. And like train stations, it's like you got to be very on time, and there's so many things you got to worry about, like having your ticket, things like that. So those like it would make sense that that's where you get mugged the most.
The thing is, I think the way
this is a women's self-defense.
The way that mugging operates is that they want to do it when you're alone. because when you're like in a very busy place with a bunch of people, at least from what I've observed, it's like, why would you do that like in a crowd? Like the crowd will be alerted to you. Like the person being mugged is going to be alerted to you, obviously, but then there's a greater risk of you being like compromised in a crowd, given that there are so many people. And even then, like, I don't know I forgot what it's called, but like people, like the odds are overwhelmingly against you when it comes to like, fighting away a group of people just because, you're mugging someone. Because I know people like, there are instances where that happens. So I feel like I don't know. It's just interesting to think about that. Chances of getting robbed by location.
Daycare facility is one of the lower ones. The top ones are
getting jumped by a preschooler.
Tribal lands.
Tribal lands.
One in 325 million.
Yeah. Well, no, that's very low.
Yeah. Well, like the odds. I mean,
the odds, the highest odds is if you're on like a highway, a road, an alley. I mean, not an alley, a street, sidewalk. Number 2 is your residence or home. Number 3 is in like a parking lot or like a big, like the parking garage. And number 3 is a convenience store. So not like a supermarket, but like a liquor store.
Yeah, like a 7-Eleven or whatever.
And then it's department or discount store. That's apparently crazy. There's 2.5 robberies every hour on like highways and on the street and stuff.
That makes sense.
So you have a very valid like fear. I'll give you that.
Very rational.
And it needed to be confirmed, but I
think you just made him more paranoid by telling him that.
If anything. But I mean, I think I'm fine. I'm like,
you're fine.
6 foot. I'm pretty tall, so like you don't scare anyone off.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, how do you feel about like? I mean, I might be calling our city out here a little bit, but like, how safe have you like felt in Santa Ana?
Well, like I feel fine like on the big streets. I could just like chill. Like I walk all around. I walk to school. I like walk wherever, right? Yeah. Even like when I was younger, I would like walk around, right? Before we had a car. Before the invention of cars, that's how old I am. But
1920. Back in my day.
But yeah, it's just like those like the areas where you're like you gotta be like extra like careful, like the smaller streets, like certain areas, like not to like say anything about Santana High School, but you gotta watch your back.
Gotta watch your back.
But yeah, it's just like I'm fine with walking around, but it doesn't like it doesn't hurt to be extra cautious,
Right. And especially when you have like something as expensive as like a camera.
Yeah.
And it's just like I feel like the worst part wouldn't even be like, damn, I just lost all this money. It'd be like all the photos I just took, if anything.
Mm-hmm. They'd be like, here, take the camera, but give me the SD card, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, for any robbers out there, first of all, stop.
Yeah. First of all, stop. Yeah. Second of all, get some help.
Please be mindful of stealing cameras. Yeah.
Is pepper spray legal in California?
Let me check.
Because I know I carry pepper spray whenever I go out.
Really? I've never carried anything like that.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, yeah, I would carry pepper spray.
I just looked up pepper. I'm dumb.
Yeah, I would carry it with me, like, whenever I back home before I came over here to Bowdoin. When I did, like, a couple of photography projects outside, I would just carry it with me just in case.
Yeah, so pepper spray is legal to purchase, own, and use in self-defense.
2.5 ounces or less.
Yeah. And it may be used for your protection against human attackers, most vicious dogs, bears, mountain lions, and other wild animals. I had never considered using it against an animal.
Apparently it works.
Shout out to the animals, bro. Yeah, that's something we do a lot here on the show. We just give random shout outs. Yeah. Do you have anyone you want to shout out?
Me, Lechuga 92 underscore on Instagram. Lechuga on YouTube. Yeah,
mute him. Just fucking press the mute button, bro. Anyways,
shout out to Legos.
Man,
Man.
I think on every episode that we've done for like this podcast, I just shout out myself like every
That's
single time.
actually true.
Like, every episode.
I think so. So yeah, I try to sneak in Legos because that's something we realize that you're like super.
Do you want to see my Legos?
Yes, bro. Yes, show us your Legos. Yeah. All right.
See, this is.
I got my my space shuttle that I got. Crazy glue.
Audience.
I won't actually use it. It's just like a prop, to the Lego movie. I got the.
Oh, that's right.
That's
what's it called?
It's the.
I'm thinking right now, but it's from the Mandalorian. It's like the new spaceship that he gets in the second season. I got the Slave One from Boba Fett. I got the Batmobile, 2 Corvettes. I like these mini little figurines. This was my bonsai tree and the Lightyear ship. I got more. Hold on. I got this food from Eternals, like the Marvel. I got this little the scene from Star Wars.
The trench run.
It doesn't say, but yeah, the trench run. I got the. I'm blinking right now, just because there's an audience. I usually know these names.
Fan, dog.
The X-Wing and
I got this cool
and
spaceship.
Cool spaceship, yeah.
Star Trek.
I also got a Gundam right there.
Oh shit.
That's cool.
I was trying to remember the names just for the audience to listening to this, because you don't actually get to see these 5 Legos. And I got these.
Oh, he has more.
Little battle setup. Clones versus droids. Yeah. Damn. Oh wait, I want one more.
Yes, one more.
It's so big that I forget that I have it. That's what she said.
Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Pause.
I wish.
No, that shit's way too big, man.
Thor's hammer.
Oh, that's made out of Legos?
What?
That bad boy. Yeah, it's all Lego.
It's Mjolnir.
Yeah. Big as my head.
Or Mjolnir? Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Mjolnir, yeah. Mjolnir?
Mjolnir.
Jonathan, but yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Yeah. Did you ever have Legos?
I did.
Do you have a collection of Legos?
I did have a couple collections, but I mostly had this big bucket full of random Legos, and I would just make shit out of it. I remember that.
Because the one thing, Legos are so fucking expensive, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten expensive. Beforehand, they weren't that expensive, but somehow they blew up. And I guess
inflation, man.
Yeah, inflation also just the nostalgia factor. You know how a lot of people who play with Legos in the past are grown-ups now, and whenever
they have money.
They have money now, so it's oh, look at these sets. Remember when you were a child?
That's me.
It's
I wonder.
It's yeah, it's I mean, it happens with kind of any other thing, really. It's it also happens with movies whenever you have a reboot or some series or whatever.
I'm on a bust out the Lego demographics. Who is buying Legos? Wow. All right. So
2% white Caucasian.
Oh, they busted up by race, dude.
Yeah. Look, we Hispanics, bro.
Hispanics are buying 14% of Legos.
That's a pretty big.
It's bigger than the other minority groups.
Gen Z
women, 80% female are buying Legos. Or
that's interesting.
Females
well, that might make sense because there are moms and what should I get little Timmy for Christmas or whatever. And it's Legos.
Damn.
The go-to. But it's millennials and Gen X, so
yeah, high income people, aka making more than 80K salary, only make up 55. And then of course it goes down as you go down. And then wow, Gen X and millennials are making up most of who's buying Legos, which I guess would make sense if you're thinking of the perspective of parents.
Yeah.
And then you also brought up the nostalgic factor for themselves.
Yeah, it's remember the good old days.
Good old days.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
So on per year, people spend $91 on Legos. How do you compare to that, Lechuga?
I actually stopped buying Legos because like I ran out of space. That's one thing. I ran out of space, but also like pride.
I thought he was about to say you ran out of money.
No. I could continue buying, but like honestly, I think I got enough to like satisfy myself right now. For now, because I just have them like. It's not like I'm playing with them. I just have them because they look cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I sometimes feel for them, of course, because you know they're Legos and their toys. But you know, yeah, I stopped buying them. I just like buy if I was gonna buy Optimus Prime, which is like 100 plus, I think. I want to say 150. I don't know. And I almost got it, and I was like, it's Optimus Prime, but also it's $150. I'm like, but yeah. I just stopped buying them because like the price.
Yeah.
I got textbooks to buy, so you know.
Textbooks.
Yeah. How?
Which, by the way, actually, I should probably not ask, but do you guys buy textbooks or do you guys get them from a sketchy website?
Oh,
no comment.
I got the mic here. I got FBI on the line.
Yeah, well, I don't.
I heard that one.
No, I don't. I mean, I didn't buy a textbook. I had to buy a book this semester, but most of our readings are just given like to us as PDFs. Because I'm just taking more of like humanities classes since I should probably tell you. I'm planning to major. I'm planning to major in Hispanic Studies and Visual Arts, and then Cinema Studies minor. So like that's just more of like creative arts stuff. I don't really need like a science textbook or anything for my classes. Cool. Just mostly books for me. But yeah, I did have to buy a book this semester. But that's basically it. I don't know about you. Did you have to buy?
Well, being a math minor, I had to get those math textbooks. Luckily enough, my roommate is a math major and so he has all the goods ahead. Yeah, and he just passes the books along to me.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Dude. Shout out to Cole, man. My roommate.
Shout out to Cole.
He's very we're kind of opposites in a way. Yeah. Well, first of all, I come from low income background, and he's very anyway, so
yeah, you avoided a word there. Hi, Cole.
He's just like he pops up in the door. No, I wanted to ask how the experience with community college has been, because I feel like I don't even know what the majority of my audience is, but I would assume college student age range at least.
Yeah.
How is it's a very broad question, but how is the kind of community college experience for you?
Well, let me just say it's nothing like community. It's not like Greenbelt, wherever.
Nice.
Definitely not like that. It feels a lot like high school. It's like high school, but without the social aspect. It feels like a job at times. Like you just go, pay attention. I'm not sure if it's like universities or just like me and the college experience. Just go, pay attention to what the professor says, and you're out. That's it. It's like you're in, out, and then next class, and that's it. Is it like that in your university too? Like go in.
I wouldn't say.
I wouldn't say that. No, ours is actually interesting.
Let us introduce you to the liberal arts.
Yeah, the liberal arts experience. No, ours. It's like the thing about our school is that, or our college, I guess, is that people see each other constantly. It's so small that you see the same people, or you see similar faces every day. Yeah. It's just so crazy.
It's not like UCLA or UCI where it's massive buildings and you have to walk 15 minutes to get to another part of campus.
In our class,
you could probably get to from one side of the school to the other in 15 minutes.
And our classes too. The intro classes are pretty big. I would say relatively big in Bowdoin terms.
30 students.
30, 50 students per class. But then you have the 2,000 and 3,000 level courses, which are higher level. Then those classes are 15 people per class. So it's so small, and you see the same people every day, and the same thing with your professors. So it's everyone knows each other here. So every time you run into someone, it's it's normal to wave at them or say hi or whatever.
So it's like that here, same size classes, 30 to 15 range, right? Except nobody gives a shit. It's exactly the same, except nobody says hi to each other. No, just they just want to be done with it and get out of the school. That's how I feel. Like they want to like get out of school already, like just be done with them. Like stay in the moment. Like we're here. But
yeah. Another thing too is like with our professors, you know,
it's all about building a relationship.
Yeah,
with
like,
them.
That's an essential thing here is like knowing your professors because they know the ins and outs about basically what you know whatever they're specialized in, and it's just like just hearing from them and hearing like because like I remember I was talking to my cinema studies professor, and I was like, oh, I'm planning to do this to go abroad like this semester, and then I'm planning to do this, you know, I'm planning to get an internship, and then, you know, like out of nowhere, she was like, "Oh, I know this dude who works in HBO Max. You should talk to him." Or like, "I know this guy who did an internship in Netflix, and right now he's doing like, I don't know, something like or whatever. Like, actually, I should give you his information." It's like, whoa, like you know, it's like they know a lot of people, and it's just so, I don't know, it's a good way to network, you know. And I think that also, I don't know how it feels like to go to community college, but I would imagine that it would probably, you know, be a similar way where, you know, knowing people is the right way to sort of like move forward, even if, I don't know, there are obstacles where it's like, oh, no one talks to each other or whatever, because that also happens here sometimes, where there are like a couple, like there are instances where you see people who like just kind of just want to be done with it and move on. Like I've seen that happen,
especially in like the sciences, I'd say.
So, you know, we're not foreign to that, but you know, I feel like that's just being able to know people is a pretty good skill. I think we were talking about that last
networking
at one point.
We brought up sophomore boot camp.
At one point, we brought up sophomore boot camp. So yeah,
that's basically college. But yeah, it's like the same like as a high school aspect where you're like. Well, that's probably also because I've been doing like the general subjects where it's like English, math, science, and whatnot. So it's like feels like super like high school-esque because like classes I already took in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But like English 101, like and 102, they're like just like read, write, whatever. Also they're like some like math courses which like seem pretty easy. So it's like whatever, like the sciences and whatever. The only classes like even the classes that are like I'm doing for my major also feel like. If I was thinking about high school, which is, I don't know why, I guess because I was thinking like the classes were going to be different or something, that it just doesn't like, it's just the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's like kind of like I was actually going to make a video about this like later, like on the year, where I was going to put like the consequences, I guess, of like keeping high expectations and like how I'm kind of like scared to like, what can I expect? Because I'm like planning to transfer to either UCI or Cal State Fullerton, which are like, I mean, pretty big schools here, UCI, right? But I'm kind of like not like really like hyping myself up to like go there or anything. I'm just like, if I go there, like dope. If I'm there, like whatever, dope, right? Like I just don't care, and I don't care to like envision like what could happen there, because I'm just like it's gonna be the same thing as here. And, like if I go and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like the best school ever. I'm like the teachers are gonna be like different. They're gonna be like teaching, or not that the college where I go they don't teach, they do teach. It's like I'm just gonna like, oh, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be like better or whatever, because like it's a university and not a community. And then if I go there, I'm like, it's the same thing but it's more expensive, like, and I don't want to like do that to myself, you know. So I'm like keeping like my expectations low right now.
Yeah, I mean that's so then just really taking in what you just said, you know. Because that's like a lot of
hold up, I'll be back just because I'll listen to you guys.
All right. Actually, I had a question for you. Do you think that Bowdoin feels like high school?
No.
Okay.
Not like mine.
I feel, I don't know. I feel the same. Yeah. I don't think, it just doesn't feel like high school. It feels different.
I mean, kind of taking like, I want to say almost like a similar, almost like a similar.
I Lechuga's mom.
Because I like by the time I took my senior year, I was taking 6 AP classes. So like, you know, the rigor of like, oh, you know, a lot of people.
It's going to be harder in college.
Struggle with like that academic transition over. And for me, it was more so like the transition of moving from Santa Ana to Brunswick, Maine. Like that was really like the biggest obstacle for me. And it was I mean, I think you kind of saw that in Dr. Purnell's intro course that we took coming in. I kind of came in already kind of successful, not to pat myself in the back, but like I was already doing pretty good. And like, I mean, it surprised Dr. Purnell. He's all like, damn, like you're a good writer. You should be a writing assistant. And then I ignored him. And then a year later,
you're back. Yeah.
I came back, and it's just like, that's just because, like the teachers that I had in high school are very similar to the professors I have here, in the sense that they wanted me to succeed, and they like really pushed us to the limit. Like they were like, they want the best out of us. And the sad thing is like, I don't think you really get that if you're taking like a standards track, compared to like taking AP courses, because like when you're taking an AP course, it's like, well, it's very obvious you're taking this because you want college transfer credits and stuff. But like if you're just taking like a regular course, like not to like downplay them, but they definitely kind of like the purpose and like the vision is definitely a little bit
negative
different.
Feedback loop. Or not a negative feedback loop, but it's like,
oh damn.
You got the light set up and everything. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like my transition from high school to, like, obviously there was a change, but I feel like I surprisingly, it was easier than I expected. I thought it was going to be a lot harder. I thought it was going to be like, oh, like this is going to be the cream of the crop in terms of, academic prestige, going to Bowdoin or whatever.
It's like what, like a 9% acceptance rate 9%
or something? Acceptance rate. Like a former president or whatever, like the alumni list, when you look at the alumni list, it's like a bunch of old white men or whatever. And it's like, they look so fancy in their, old timey suits, and you're like, oh my God, such an intellectual. And then here I am, like, some dude from Houston, just,
some dude.
Just some dude from Houston with a camera all of a sudden is in Bowdoin College. It's like, wow. But no, I think that what really opened my eyes here was just the fact that the professors are very supportive. Because in my high school, they were like, I did take AP and IB classes, but my professors weren't really that supportive. They kind of just, they were very
teachers.
My teachers, yes.
I get that.
I get that. Yeah.
Calling everyone my professor.
Yeah, but they were very transactional. They were like, okay, here's your work, do your work, and then do your own thing. I mean, there were a few that actually went beyond that, and I really do appreciate that. But most of them were just like, here's your work, do your work, and then go beyond that. But whenever I came here, all of a sudden I have, all of a sudden, like, for example, my, like, Dr. Purnell, obviously, he's like the first professor I ever met here.
Amazing.
He's very, very amazing. And then you have my academic advisor, my pre-major advisor, who's also a professor, and they just, guide me through that. And then I started meeting, that's where I started taking classes. And then from there, I met my cinema studies professor, and I met a Russian professor that I just had a class last year who I really liked. But yeah, it's just like, so I don't know. It was definitely a little bit like unsettling at first, but then, once I started realizing like, oh, these people actually want to help me. It's like not, it's not like they just want my work and that's it. So
yeah,
I really appreciate that.
Growth is like a big thing that's emphasized here.
Yeah.
It's like, even if you don't like complete things and that kind of stuff, like as long as you demonstrate growth, that's
what matters.
Yeah.
If I could jump in, after like, because I was listening, like, I guess that's what makes it feel like high school to me. Like, it just feels like I'm just doing work and giving it to them, and it doesn't feel like they really care about the work. You just like do it, you submit it, and that's that. And also the fact that the classes feel easy, I guess. Like it goes in hand. Like it also feels easy, but also feels like it's just you doing like reading a textbook and then placing it down, and like it doesn't like actually feel like something I'm learning or actually doing it, because then there's like a Quizlet of it, and I'm like,
they come in clutch though.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So then I guess kind of like bouncing off of what Miguel was saying, like, how do you feel the support system is at like a community college like Santa Ana? Like, do you feel the support system? Like, do you have like a set of people who, like, when you run into an issue, you know, you can go to and kind of like rely on?
Definitely. I'm part of like this program, EOPS, where they're like, basically they're like required, or you could be part of it, like through like counselor like meetups. I got mine like next week, I think. And like you get like a counselor you get to talk to, and like they like set up the meeting and everything. You can just like talk to them, like whatever, like what do you want to do with like the classes you're doing, how are you doing, like whatever you want to talk to them basically, for like academic wise.
Yeah.
But it's great just to like have someone like. I wasn't even thinking about going to UCI. I was gonna go to like Cal State Fullerton. I was like set on that, and they were like, well, you got the grades, you could like. You just gotta take these few like extra. They're low key like selling me like another year. I'm actually gonna do like another year at SAC because they're like you know, like you're there and you could like just like by taking like these extra classes you could go to UCI. And I was like, no, what's 3 extra classes? So I'm like, I'm there for another year now. But yeah, they're the ones who kind of like you could go to UCI and like they could like fully pay for it. And I'm like, fully pay? I'm in.
Yeah.
But
shout out Questbridge.
Yeah, shout out to Questbridge.
But yeah, they definitely like want you to like achieve like the most you can. My English professor, I like talk to him like once a week. I don't even have English anymore. I just like kind of like pop into his office. I'm like, hey, what's up? And we just kind of like talk for like an hour, like how we were just talking like about whatever. And like, yeah, like I feel like if you go to like any professor, yeah, because like they like support you or whatever. Like if you need anything, they're there.
That's good.
I don't know why I kind of like see that. I think that was very important to hear because I kind of like it's the same. It's the same.
Yeah,
you know? It's like people, educators across all levels. Yes, you may have those transactional kinds of teachers and stuff, but like educators on all levels, appreciate them because they really do care for us and like our success. And kind of going, I don't think I mentioned this, but I'm majoring in computer science and education, and then with minor in math.
Polar opposites in terms of academic pursuits.
He's doing a shitload of readings. I'm doing a shitload of coding. But like it's honestly, that was very nice to hear. That was like awesome.
It's a lot more nuanced, I think, than people are led to believe, because you know, it's like there's a whole, you know, there's a whole discourse about, you know, like academia and like, you know, going to college, like, oh, you want to go to this, like, you know, you want to go to Harvard because that's the best, and you know, like you don't want to, like, I don't know, you know what I mean, like this whole discourse. But at the end of the day, you know, it's they have similar systems, you know, similar like customs in place, where, you know, it's a lot more nuanced than people make it to be. So it's just, you know, there are benefits all around. Like there are benefits, you know, doesn't matter where, like, you know, where you are, you can find those benefits, you know, by looking for them. So, and the same thing here, like there are a couple of professors here that are like very, you know, questionable in terms of, you know, their, you know, what they not like the way they lecture and the way that they assign stuff. And it's like, you know, why? And I've definitely heard a lot of accounts, you know, of that, but you know, it's just, it's interesting, and it's also nice to hear, you know, that's the case.
Yeah. I was kind of interested, like maybe you know, or curious was the better word. So I worked over the summer at through some agency, and part of that was they required me to take a course that was called Workforce Power Skills at Santa Ana College. It was like an online thing, totally asynchronous. It was literally like watch these videos, do these readings, and then post on the discussion board, kind of like as a reflection of that. And then at the end, I got like this little certificate that was like, you completed the course. And like, that was really sick.
Anyways.
And I don't know if you know Professor Madrigal, if that name sounds familiar at all.
No.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Anyways, thank you for.
Yeah, but that class was basically just about like leadership in the workplace, and like responsibility, you know, like being on time to things and being presentable and not like going to work in your pajamas and things like that. It's just basically like how to behave in the workforce and how you can really like gain a lot from like joining this like social or like the professional social like culture. And you know, I mean, it was a pretty interesting class. It honestly felt more like a chore to complete, but I think I got some things out of it. Yeah. So community college, I don't know, because I feel like community college a lot of the times it's like, I don't know if there's any like high school students like senior, juniors listening right now, but if there is, like, just kind of know that there are options. You don't have to go to Harvard. Like you don't have to go to Yale. You don't have to go to like Stanford, USC.
Despite how I feel, despite how I feel like about community right now, I would have still chosen it. Like if I could go back in time, I would still choose going to like SAC. It's just like share, like there's this and this, but it's like you learn what you learn at SAC, what you would have learned somewhere else. And it's just like, I'm taking science, math, English classes there. Like, why would I go any other school when I could just learn it easily and cheaply at SAC, right? So, like, it doesn't matter where you go if you're like, it's just like what you do to like get to your final end goal of what you want to do, and just like taking like the smartest move to get there.
It's not about where you are; it's about where you're going.
Oh,
yep. Live by that. I try to live by that. Sometimes I don't, but you know, yeah. Anyways,
I'm all out of questions. Lechuga, if you have anything else, do you have anything you want to ask us? I mean, I feel like that's something people in people in interviews do.
Yeah.
It's like, do you have any questions for us? Anything you might want to know?
Not really. Like on top of the head, I got nothing. Sorry.
Nah, man. I mean, you're good. Listen, it was a really fun conversation.
It was.
Got to learn a bit about photography. I mean, you guys were spitting out like camera models and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, like I don't know anything. But I mean, you know, the point of the show is to kind of be a little bit more inclusive, and like the luxury of having a co-host is I don't always have to talk about the things I'm super interested in, and to kind of like, you know, bank on Miguel's side, and then also I think it's just really cool for like my friends from high school to meet my friends from college, because considering how far away I am, like you don't really get that opportunity. You know, it's like, hey, come over to California, or like come over to Maine.
Come over to Maine, yeah.
But yeah, man, it was really nice talking to you. Shout out to Lechuga's photography Instagram. Make sure to follow that. What's the @ again?
I think it's just lettuce photo. It's a very nice photo.
I love it. Let us photo.
Yeah.
Bro, you could totally add like a watermark, or just like make your own logo of like a lettuce. And then maybe like kind of like incorporate a J somehow, like into the outline or into like we could talk later, but
logo design.
Yeah, I'm very into that, considering, you know, I've done a couple of logos here and there. But yeah, just it's really, really a pleasure to have you on. We didn't really get a chance to talk over the winter break.
It was great to be here,
yeah. I just thought this would be a really fun opportunity. And with that being said,
great.
Do you have any? I'll give you the floor. You get to say whatever you want. Don't cancel me, but, you know, go ahead.
It's great to be back as always. I was going to co-host this time, which, you know, tragedy, but, you know, in the future, might take over. I haven't been paid for the past episodes. I hosted a whole episode. It was a pretty long episode, and I didn't get paid.
Yeah, you pay me by. You said
our
contract.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, our contract says that you pay me by the end of the year.
We should make a union or something
Union of co-hosts.
Yeah. Shout out to the unions out there, making it possible. You know, support the workers. Yeah. Anyways.
Alrighty, and with that being said, this has been On Our Minds. Yep. Thank you for joining us. Next week we'll have another guest, and we'll catch you guys then.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Later.
Later.
Oh.